Let's learn how to become a travel healthcare worker. This is a great video if you want to be a travel nurse, a travel therapist, or any kind of allied health traveler.
Nomadicare.com makes it easy to be a travel nurse, travel therapist, or any allied health traveler. It's full of unbiased education, a job board marketplace with pay listed up front, and there are free tools to learn how to negotiate to make sure you're getting paid fair. Our bread and butter is vetted recruiter matchmaking. You tell us where you want to go, and we will match you with perfectly vetted recruiters who pay the best and have jobs where you want them.
And the great news I'm going to say right off the start is it's actually pretty simple to become a travel healthcare worker. Step number one is you just have to have the right experience before you start. So for nurses, you guys just have to work at least 2 years in a permanent job before pretty much any hospital is going to consider you to come on as a traveler. And as a nurse, the very last year before you become a traveler, that has to be in the specialty that you want to travel in. So if you're a NICU nurse, that last year before a traveler, you have to work in NICU. You can't work in a different setting and then go back to something you did before. So at least 2 years, and then the last 12 months in the specialty you want to travel in. For pretty much all of allied health who works in a hospital, they're going to expect at least 1 year of experience and prefer 2 years of experience. And then for therapy, which is physical, occupational, or speech therapy, you guys can actually travel right out of school as a new grad. It might be slightly harder to get a job than if you do have experience, because if you're going for the same job as someone that does have experience, they're gonna pick that person. But I traveled as a new grad, lots of people do it, it is possible. So once you have the experience needed, you really could just start talking to recruiters and staffing agencies right then about jobs. It's genuinely that simple. You could decide today, I want to be a travel nurse, and then you could literally have your first job in a month from now. It's so quick and so cool. How the process kind of works is you are going to either find staffing agencies that you want to work with. You might use Nomadicare.com to match you to the right recruiter for you. You might even use a job board. There's marketplaces where a lot of different agencies will post to one job board. Nomadicare has one on their website, and you can see all the pay up front. You can see where all the jobs are. And you might contact recruiters that way based on the jobs that you see. But regardless of how you choose to find a staffing agency, really that's the first step. And the time to do this is going to be about 3 months before you start your job. If you contact recruiters much farther out than that, let's say you're 6 months away or 9 months away, the whole entire market can change in that time of where the jobs are and what they pay. And a recruiter's role really is to tell you about jobs, get your information, and submit you to jobs. And so there's not too much for them to do until you're at the 3 month mark at the latest, but really that 2 month mark is perfect. So from there, you'll get told about jobs, or you'll see them on a job board, and you will select the ones you want to submit. How you submit is you're going to give to the staffing agency a profile about you. So they're going to need you to either build out a profile of your work history, or some staffing agencies will accept a resume. You're going to need to do a skills checklist. You'll have to give them 2 references, and you'll have to give them proof of your current licensure so they can check and make sure you're in good standing. From there, once they have just those few things, you can start submitting to jobs. And you can even submit to many jobs at once. Sometimes you might have 7 job applications out there because of the speed of the industry. You want to have lots of options. That's good. And then the hiring manager at the facility itself is going to look over the resumes, the skills checklist, and they're going to pick who they want to interview. So hopefully you get selected. And then there's a few different ways you might interview. 1, a phone call, and that's great. You can ask your questions, they'll ask their questions. You can make sure it's a good fit. 2, more and more commonly, especially in the travel nurse world, is automated interviews. You will get a call from a voice and you will give your answers, and the hiring manager will review those answers. Or number 3, especially in crisis situations, it could be an instant offer where they look at your resume, your skills checklist, and say, great, go ahead and offer them the job. That sounds good. And you never talk to anybody until you show up for the job. After you start getting interviews and then hopefully offers, you get to decide if you want that job or not. The rule of thumb is you kind of already know. You're not applying to jobs that you're not pretty sure that you're going to say yes to. So the only reason you'd really turn it down is because maybe you got multiple offers at once, so you're just picking your favorite one, or 2, you find out something new during the interview process and that made you change your mind. But everything about learning what it pays and being comfortable with that, learning about the location and being comfortable with that, those things should be fine with you before you submit. And so you should never have an issue with pay after you submit, because the stage that you negotiate is before you submit to the job. After you get the offer, you'll have usually 24 hours, maybe up to 48 hours to say yes or no. It's not a very long amount of time because that facility, of course, needs to fill the spot and they don't have a lot of time to wait for answers because usually the job's gonna start in like 3 weeks or a month later. So if you don't want it, they need to give it to somebody else. And then after you find a job you like, it's credentialing. That is where most of the paperwork is. You give a little bit of paperwork up front to be submitted, and then after you say yes to the job and you sign the agreement, you and the staffing agency is going to work together to get all the required documents in. One of the staffing agency's jobs is to make sure you really are who you say you are, that you're in good standing, your background check is good, that you have a clear drug test, and you have all of the current and active certifications that the facility needs. And so then you guys have to work together. You've got to give them all your paperwork, go to the labs to get titers if you need them, or drug screens, so they can get all that paperwork in, check it all off and say, great, you're who you say you are, you're qualified, you've got clear background checks and drug screens, you're good to work. So you guys all have to work together to get that done before day 1. And some of the things like the drug tests or the background screens, they can take a little bit longer to come back. So you have to do them early, not just right before you start, because they need time to send off, go through all the counties, and come back. Licensure is the biggest reason that people have delayed starts. And so definitely if you need a license in the state, you start it right away, right when you get accepted. So hopefully that doesn't delay you. And then probably about the same time as you're doing credentials, you're gonna start looking for housing. It is typically the traveler who's gonna look on Airbnb or Furnish Finders or Facebook housing groups or a ton of other resources to find a place they're gonna live for those 3 months. You can do that right away. Once you sign the agreement, start looking for your housing and do your credentials at the same time. And then from there, you buy all the snacks, you go on the road trip, and your adventure begins. You are officially a traveler. You show up and you work your first assignment, and hopefully you love it. So that pretty much is all you need to know to become a traveler. There's a few nuances along the way that you can learn, you can get savvier at and get better at as you go, but the basics are pretty simple. So if you really want to be a traveler, don't be too intimidated. It's actually not that hard to dive right in. If you want to keep learning all about travel healthcare, like and subscribe to this channel. We have new videos that come out every single week, all about this topic. And of course, go to Nomadicare.com. That is an amazing website that is just for healthcare travelers, full of resources and tools that are free for you to use.